great wrestling debate.
I think they made a smart move and pulled the plug on that whole, Big Show New Year's baby idea. I think instead what it turned into was the literal rise of Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett.
Oh my God.
Doing the...
Yeah, for a second I thought we were going to get another spinner Woody marathon because he's been doing a lot of head shows.
And now, here's Tyler Wilde.
Yeah, so now Big Show this week knocks out Zeb Coulter as Brock Lesnar was not present.
He just hates senior citizens, doesn't he, right now?
Yeah. And, a pretty easy squash match, I guess, on Jack Swagger.
Former world champion Jack Swagger, too.
Yeah.
One time. It's not like he was multiple.
Yeah, so, of course, no Brock Lesnar present, so obviously, that's what they had for us there, knock out
He'll be back next week, though, Tyler. He'll be back for the closing show.
Yeah, it's obviously, the go-home show is right around the corner. It's going to feature the return of Dave Bautista to WWE. That should be interesting.
Curious who he interacts with on Raw?
Yeah, who maybe...
Could be a teaser for Mania.
Maybe Spinebusters or Batista.
From Triple H's interview that they did with Michael Cole interviewing him, it sounds like it might be an interaction within Triple H, because he's actually supporting him coming back. So it's a question of, is Dave Bautista going to be a supportive of the administration, or is he going to actually go against them?
Yeah.
And right now what it looks like, because he's also a friend of Triple H, since he was a partner with Triple H in Evolution, and since we've also seen the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn go and turn tail on CM Punk. I mean, I don't know. I'm pulling that he'll back and he'll just support the administration, which to me I'd rather him go against them.
Yes, but then,
he won the first.
But I don't know if remember, Isabella Wheel's been talking smack to him, and he even beat up little late Mysterio to prove a point. So,
but that's just something I noticed with Triple H's interview. So, but then again, it's also that whole best for business thing.
Yeah.
The old adage, which we hear probably on a weekly basis. Obviously, we got to pay tribute to Mae Young, passing away after being in the hospital for a while.
90 years old.
90, yep, solid 90. Great entertainer, and was in. They said she's been in matches in 9 different decades.
Yep,
only person to do that, and of course, at almost 80 years old, she took the big power bomb through a table
from Bubba Ray Dudley. Yeah,
Bubba Ray Dudley. That's
oh my God,
that's pretty impressive, and so she will.
I'm curious if Bubba Ray has posted something on his Twitter account about that, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw an article about I think on a bunch of superstars paying tribute on Twitter, and you saw The Rock and some. And I didn't go through all of them because there's probably so many, but
it actually wasn't. I can tell you this much: it's not the full roster. It's not even it's not all Hall of Famers, but Jim Ross was on there. Surprisingly, the guy got fired. He posted. Pat Patterson posted. Mark Henry posted a nice one. There were some that were short, and then there were some that were a little longer. It really wasn't that much, but it was some good stuff. I mean, to me, the Rock's one was pretty good. JR had a good one. Mark Henry had a very good one. Zack Ryder was Zack Ryder was short. Like I said, it varied, but it was, you could tell it was people who just came from the heart and posted. A lot of people were shocked. That was the main thing. Yeah.
The Rock obviously is a Twitter guru, but it was kind of funny too, because it kind of the first one they showed was Vince McMahon and then Triple H, and then they kind of went down the ladder, the hierarchy of I mean, I would assume Zack Ryder.
The guys that matter, the guys that don't matter.
Zack Ryder was maybe at the bottom. But
he was pretty close to the bottom. Now, he had a picture of, though.
It's kind of funny. It just kind of tells you where people fall. And
well, because the picture he had was her doing the woo woo woo. That was back when Zack Ryder was up there.
Yeah.
But
you mean that one time they pushed the guy?
Yeah.
When he had that web series.
So, but it was good. Like I said, it's not the whole roster. It's certainly, I'm pretty sure there was hundreds of other people that posted stuff, but that is what they did have. So it was good.
And
they also did a tribute video, which was good. I mean, I liked it. Granted, the only person you heard talk, it was just Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
And I think it was from the Hall of Fame induction. It was just pulling from what he said. But it was good stuff. It just, surprisingly for a tribute video, no other superstars, nobody else talked. It was just literally her footage and a little bit of Pat Patterson in the beginning and at the end. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And speaking of Twitter, we had a Ryback meltdown.
Oh my God!
Which
I heard about. I saw some of the tweets about that.
Yeah, which I guess apparently kind of played into him getting released, from what I heard.
No,
Or is that just a rumor?
All it says was released now, but no, he's still employed, Tyler.
It's probably a storyline one.
Well, here's the weirdest thing: on main event, Ryback showed up on every match on the card.
Oh, we doing this again?
We're
doing a John Cena again with the Nexus.
No,
shows up the very next day.
No,
yeah.
Well, Corey,
he needed my ring gear. Was he in his ring gear?
Corey, all he did was he walked around the ring, like smirking or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's it.
And people took that as real,
I'm just saying.
He might have gone off the deep end. Maybe that's his new gimmick now. He's gone off the deep end finally.
I mean, they don't know what else to do with him. But
I mean. Well, there was like a tweet.
His head against the wall
well, if it's not storyline, the guy's clearly probably should be released then.
Yeah.
Because one of the tweets was about how he was so glad that he gave Dolph Ziggler another concussion. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, and then somebody actually posted a video of him in FCW or something.
Yeah.
And then this person thought like Ryback was released apparently, and they said this is what happens to bullies. And, assuming that Ryback was released, and
no, he was on main event Wednesday.
Yeah, but now
which is Tuesday technically, so it was after the tweets though.
Yeah,
yeah,
but now apparently the real release was Caitlyn this week.
Yeah,
it was kind of mutual.
It wasn't really a release. It was more on her own.
Whatever you want to call it.
She's going on and continuing what she had started before, which is like I guess fitness stuff. Is what she did.
Well,
I actually watched her video. It was a decent video. So probably only been there for 3 years, so she just she figured that's it.
It's
which
like,
I don't.
She was a bodybuilder. She was a bodybuilder before she came around.
I mean, let's face it. There's not much going on with the Divas, so I don't blame her for wanting to leave.
I mean,
that was the reason. That was the reason.
Yeah, exactly.
She had they had another for her,
especially the big focus on like Total Divas too. I mean,
she wasn't part of that. So
and we see this happen. I mean, sort of the same thing happened to Eve. She was Divas champion. Then not long after that, out of the company. And same thing here with Caitlyn. And
I mean, at least they gave her a good match. Unfortunately, it was only on main event, but it was with her best friend AJ.
Yeah.
So I hadn't actually seen the whole match, but it looked like it was going to be a good one. I mean, it kind of reminded me of when Trish decided to leave, and it was Trish versus Lita for the championship. And that was a good one because it was, two good friends.
Two good
wrestling and
diva wrestlers.
Good ones out there. So, but I watched her video. Apparently there's been a lot of outpouring and support.
Yeah.
Again, I don't follow enough. It's not like I follow Twitter, but it was a good video. She did explain mainly her reasons. She's going into, I guess, sportswear is her big thing now. Sportswear and sports management type stuff.
Well, I guess since we're sticking with social media here, how about the Dave Bautista Alberto Rio Twitter feud that happened for a little bit too?
Which kind of like Corey. I didn't look too much into it.
Feud. Is that what they're trying to do? Paying off of that?
Well, here's the thing. There's people who believe that Tilly Del Rio started it.
Yeah.
Now, people think that he was doing it in character and that. But at one point here, Batista posted a tweet, but then he deleted it. And the tweet pretty much said was that I can't believe I'm hearing it from a bunch of no-namers and that, and how these guys are currently like part of like a B-rated era right now. I'm pretty sure he was shitting on the entire roster pretty much.
Well, I don't know.
What to say? He then deleted the tweet. And not surprising, supposedly a lot of people in the back are pissed off right now. Because, and we're just talking about, he might be right that this is not the golden era of the WWE in that, and it might be a down year than when Batista was in.
The silver era.
But there's certain things that you pretty much should keep to yourself, pretty much. So there's already been some backstage heat already on the guy. He hasn't even come back yet. But
Well, that's fine. Give him fuel.
in the
for
words of the
fire.
Saw Mustard, professional wrestlers and Twitter do not mix.
Yeah, for the
They
most-
just don't. Because how you know like a Ryback? How you know it's a storyline or it's him?
exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
like I said, Batista's case. Well, let's see too. All Ryback's tweets got deleted then, and then he claimed that his account was hacked. Granted,
yeah, I heard about that side of it too.
When he claimed that his account was hacked, and that all those supposedly hacked like controversial tweets came out, he then took a selfie of himself also and posted that. So people are calling the bullshit on the whole hacking deal. Then
Unless you got to change quick, but
I
that had to be a pretty darn quick change.
I don't know, but there was a lot of crazy social media stuff for professional wrestling in 1 week.
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, in between like
Keep
news
your
and
lives private.
between all that, I mean, we didn't even get to Raw yet.
No.
So, but I think we covered everything else. So I guess now we can get to Raw.
Yeah, let's get the
Which was rather like filled with like matches. Like I didn't really realize, but like at the end, I'm like, you know what? There was like no like mic segments or anything. It was just like a lot of
I
all
think
matches.
The most
pretty
mic
much.
segment involved Kane doing his administrative type stuff, and that was really
It was
it.
like,
I didn't.
wasn't
really
that was
see
like
much promo.
backstage stuff
Yeah,
too?
it was
Like they were backstage, but there was like no like promos or anything in the ring, and that was interesting. I guess wasn't a whole lot coming. The main focus of this episode of Raw was obviously the Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt story, which of course every week we talk about our WrestleMania match predictions, and now it might look unlikely that Bray Wyatt will be in the WWE Championship picture.
Yeah,
after what happened.
Yeah, he looked pretty bad in that.
Yeah, but also
granted, Steel Cage separated him from the other guys in that, but still.
Yeah.
I mean,
even then, when you had one trying to climb the cage and he gets knocked down.
Well, they both got knocked down. They tried to climb the cage.
Yeah, I mean, there goes from being a dominating force to okay. So you guys, you could stop a ring. You could stop a ring of fire to get the Kane, but you can't stop Daniel Bryan in a steel cage. What's up with that?
Well, remember the door was chained
shut. Yeah,
which is something that usually doesn't happen.
No, but I mean,
and they're not Mark Henry, so they're not going to break the thing with their hand.
They're not gonna, and they're not Bobby Lashley, so they're not gonna, bounce off the ropes and then jump on the,
That's what I'm talking about.
something like that. But
I'm thinking Goldberg. Goldberg would have eaten the chain.
Or like spear, But yeah, I mean,
I would have punched and like broke his hand then.
But yeah, I mean, talk about irony. Last week we are talking about maybe they'll keep this together, and Bray Wyatt with the
he was
till after WrestleMania or something, and then next week on Raw.
I knew it was gonna last forever there, but
the
only way they can save this to me is that Bryan never turned all together, and he just tricked the Wyatt family just so he could get close to Wyatt to beat him up. Then essentially,
look, I recalled from the last week about those yes chants still being around. It told me something. It's like there's no way if they're still doing this. It's like come on.
Now, granted, that's because CM Punk told the fans to keep chanting yes because you can't give up on Bryan. Apparently,
what do you think? What do you think the yes count was for that last few minutes of Raw? I mean it'd be at least.
All I know is it was definitely the entire arena said yes.
You could.
They all
might have been. Might have been over 100 yeses there. I mean,
I haven't seen that
between moves and everything.
Yeah.
Those type of reactions I usually do not see unless it's like a big time Hall of Famer or legend like Stone Cold Steve Austin or somebody like that.
Some people have compared some of the times these yes chants if it's a very hot crowd to like the Austin.
What?
No,
that's a big famous chant.
We're not quite out the West Coast. You watch some of Austin's when he was starting to get really over that. The crowd went berserk.
Right.
I'm just saying that the what chant is another big famous one because you have people always still say still say it to this day, especially if it's like Vince McMahon trying to say something like what.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin has apologized. I don't know how many times on Twitter for kind of that stupid catchphrase because he had no idea it would keep expanding this far essentially.
Yeah.
But he gave people advice. He says, "Look, just don't stop. Just keep talking, because then they can't interrupt you. Then
right. Yeah. It's like they pause.
They pause too long,
purposely pause after every 3 words, and it's like they're asking for a what. So I mean that's always the way I look at it. Especially like sometimes with Cena too, and he'll like look around and like smile, but yeah, I mean this whole Daniel Bryan thing. I mean we're talking about how it might go for a long time. And here, it only really lasted like a few weeks with him being in the family, and then and it almost seemed like he was, the reaction he got and all the yeses. It seemed like that was going on forever, and it really wasn't. So
yeah,
the crowd was really everyone in the. I was watching like the crowd as this was going on. It looked like you could barely spot anybody.
Yeah,
that wasn't doing.
It wasn't doing.
I mean, yeah. So. I mean, that's that was.
And this
pretty
was in Boston too.
How's it gonna work if he does?
This is in
Undertaker?
Cena Town.
Daniel Bryan isn't a heel, so what's he gonna go in as two faces? I guess is that what we're doing with Undertaker? If he actually
well, here's the thing, now, Corey. I don't know now. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
we don't know. Each week, something.
don't get me wrong.
It might be back to Lesnar now.
I mean, wrong. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Triple H and Undertaker, they weren't technically a heel and a face. It was face. It was just but the difference is you had two guys that had long-standing longevity in the company. So having a double face with those two is like, well, who cares? It's a match you want to see. Daniel Bryan, he's a young guy. You're like, you kind of want to then have one heel. Well, we're gonna have Undertaker come back.
Now,
Ministry of Darkness.
Boy, to be fair, we don't know. I mean, hell, he might declare in the Rumble, and here comes Daniel Bryan as a contender, at least, to win the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the only thing is, he apparently suffered a concussion in the steel cage match.
Yes.
Which makes some people fear that
we don't know how severe though it is though. But he wasn't on. He was not on SmackDown though. But Bray Wyatt did say that. No! Bray Wyatt did say that he was going to burn him essentially.
Yeah. So.
Well, I would say burn him there, but he did say he put it like was saying like, oh, I gave you a chance, and now you screwed me, and now I'm gonna make you regret it essentially.
So well, obviously we'll have to wait and see what happens there, but yeah, I mean it's this is good. I mean the Royal Rumble, there's different candidates here for who can win.
Well, so far only 18 people have been confirmed, so almost 2/3 of the way there. Now looking at the current field, it's Dave Bautista in the long.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Punk's in there, but at this point, Punk Triple H is almost confirmed now.
Well, to me,
the New Age Outlaws thing just confirmed it. This is going to be a feud for Mania. It's Triple H versus Punk.
Oh, that is because when Triple H got interviewed by Michael Cole, you can tell because what Triple H said is he said, "Here's the thing, I like the guy CM Punk, but he has these crazy notions of this conspiracy stuff," is how he was going about it, and. He basically said, he had what it was coming to him. Like, well, yeah, now that makes it sound like you had some, involvement in there, making sure the New Age Outlaws stepped out. So it's pretty certain that they are going the Triple H versus CM Punk route. However, whether Batista will actually win the Rumble will depend on what he says on Monday night, because he could just shock us. I mean, look how much we've been trying to predict so far, and it's already keeps turning on us.
Well, not just like I said, even at the pay-per-view itself, if he has a stare-down with Brock Lesnar in the Rumble, that's almost a confirmation that that's going to be the match between those two then.
Totally.
Because Rumble, this is usually the time you start getting signs now, essentially.
Kind of like Lesnar and Goldberg style back in 10 WrestleManias ago, or WrestleMania seasons ago, I guess you can call it.
Yeah,
Royal Rumbles ago.
That's 10
you can
years.
call it.
That's about 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 10 years before. So yeah, I mean, could be a bit of deja vu there. Just Batista instead of Goldberg.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like we said, I mean, things change by the week lately. So that's obviously that's interesting. But
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's better than what it used to be with just keep predicting when you started to get too much of a feeling of, oh, okay, so this is where we're going. Okay, this is where we're going.
Kind of like,
we got 2 months left.
Kind of like back in the in the fall when me and Wayne were sitting here, before every pay-per-view. All right, so there's going to be a screwy finish here at this pay-per-view, and we get to the next one.
We call that pretty well.
Screwy finish of the pay-per-view. They're gonna throw like 5 matches on the card, like last minute. Now it's not like that. So it's obviously it's a step in the right direction.
It's making it a lot more entertaining, and hopefully will help draw in people to want to.
Well, WrestleMania is usually when they really step up their game, and they kind of have to. It's your biggest show of the year.
Well, now more than ever, because now with this whole network coming out, they have to.
Yeah, it has to be a soft.
They have to be able to draw it because.
That's gonna be
It's $10 to do this.
Well, it's not just they have
compared to last year's 70.
Well, besides that, you can't just have a decent card. You also got it's gonna be a huge test to see if this never can even handle that much traffic online without any incidents.
Without any crashes or anything.
And the words of someone, you don't want to be the Affordable Care Act site say when it opens up to you. I mean, that's probably the best case scenario there. That had too much traffic and the site crashed pretty much.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean,
basically.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is obviously it's week by week. CM Punk and CM Punk facing Triple H. I think at WrestleMania, I think that could make for some interesting CM Punk pipe bombs, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, that's
I mean, as a baby face, they're not as powerful.
That's the thing. I mean,
Punk has to win though, because
right, exactly.
Triple H, it's gonna be like, really?
Right, exactly. Well, he has to win.
Well, here's the thing too. To me, this is kind of like how the Night of Championship should have been. Remember the whole Kevin Nash debacle? And I call it the debacle because really all that came out of it was Nash and Triple H in a four-way match at TLC.
Yeah, go get a sledgehammer from the top rope.
And it was supposed to be this whole conspiracy of well, who was actually pulling the plug on Nash, and oh no, he's doing it by himself.
I mean, even then, CM Punk had some good tweets. I mean, that's when he fired not tweets, but good pipe bombs. Why did I say tweets? I guess because
so much Twitter and WWE.
No, but he brought out like that text message.
Yeah.
Hey, my sister Shireen, whatever she said.
And by that point he was a full-fledged face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? It was like he was accusing Triple H of being a heel back then, and he wasn't a heel. He was a face, and it was like this whole. And the match got thrown together. It was supposed to be Nash and Punk, but Nash wasn't cleared the wrestle he had. Yeah. So, not to mention they thought that Nash and Punk would be a terrible match. They thought Triple H would be a better match. Could do a decent match more.
Yeah.
I mean, Punk would be carrying a lot of it.
Right.
But
no offense to Nash.
Nash is a big guy.
At his age,
his knees are shot.
His knees are shot. I mean, he's in his 50s.
He ain't going to be able to carry.
But but now I agree with Punk has to win this thing to erase that one loss to Triple H. Great.
Right the wrong.
The worst thing was also about how he lost, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of run-ins in that match from The Miz to R-Truth to Kevin Nash to sledgehammer here, sledgehammer there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a screwy clusterfuck of a finish, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, and supposedly Punk will win. This ends the whole authority storyline then. That's supposedly what the goal is.
To some degree, yeah.
Which makes perfect sense then. It's Mania. This is when you can end current storylines and start new ones then, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which will be where would Kane end up? If they end up the administrative thing, where's Kane going to go? We're gonna have the old Masked King come back, or are we just gonna have a guy in a suit?
Well, it is just sitting there in a box.
I mean, he keeps alluding to it all the time.
Yeah.
A monster.
And like I said, like for the weeks leading up to Wrestle, like this is kind of where I think CM Punk can be at his strength. His strengths going against authority. Dropping pipe bombs and stuff, and so I think that would work out, even if he's not, main eventing or closing WrestleMania this year. I mean, maybe down the road. I mean, maybe next year's WrestleMania you can close it. But I mean, this will be appropriate.
You would hope, because actually, and Wayne and I were talking about this earlier, but he pointed out, if you notice Raw, it was focused on Daniel Bryan and CM Punk were the main ones. I mean, John Cena and Randy Orton, even two other Golden Boys were kind of like in the background.
Even the past couple of weeks, though, I mean, the
New Year's Eve one, or the one before,
the New Year's Eve one,
old school.
But the New Year's Eve Raw, it closed with Bryan joining the Wyatts,
or the eve of New Year's Eve.
Well,
I guess by
the last Raw
of the old year. The last Raw of 20. Yeah.
It ends with Punk. It gets Reigns. Reigns wins, and then Jake Roberts. I mean, it doesn't end with Cena or Orton. I mean, it's almost like they
weren't even on that one.
No, that's the thing. Yeah,
no,
and they're not even on SmackDown. Both of them. Not one of them are on SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah. Which I'm not totally surprised about. At least with Cena, I'm not surprised because they just had that temporary time. Like Cena's back, or whatever he said, the something delight or something is back on SmackDown. So only for a few weeks. And
the Friday Night Delight.
Yeah, the Friday Night Delight. That's right.
Which I believe,
technically,
which I believe is a John Morrison line.
Yeah. Technically, be the Tuesday Night Delight in technicality, but whatever. It was only for a few weeks, I guess. Anyways, but the thing unplugged. But anyhow, basically, I think with Cena and Orton, I think it's just I feel like Orton's just gonna win this match because they seem not to be placing that much priority on this story at all.
Yeah, but then again, he did just beat the hell out of Cena's dad, and so
I mean,
did you really have this guy lose when he's not defending his pride of his father?
Well, here's the thing: when that match came, when it was Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Kofi Kingston. I like how he got some payback technically because we all know a little bit about the past there. Kofi Kingston had a push until Randy Orton sort of stopped him and said, "Look,
he wasn't ready
to cut this." I like how he won that match. It's just honestly,
It was a shame.
I was asleep.
I'm
a fan of Kofi Kingston, but I fell asleep. And I was actually planning on re-waking up to watch the rest of the Raw. It comes out, I slept right through the rest. I was like, son of a gun.
Corey. But it wasn't a even match. It was a one-sided match. The whole storyline pretty much was that Orton could have won anytime he wanted, but he wanted to punish Kingston essentially. Yeah. And then Kingston got him in a roll out of nowhere and won the match. I was laughing how they all called it an upset. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
A few years ago, these guys were supposed to be on even terms as far as where they were on the roster.
Oh, yeah. But the other thing is, though, they have already done this whole thing before with him beating up John Cena's dad. They did that back when they feuded way back when. It's like, it's nothing new.
And it's like out of nowhere, like he's just like looking around, and all of a sudden he just starts punching this guy in the front
First I thought he just punched a random fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, he's like punching, and it's like, oh, that's Randy Orton's dad. I'm like, what? That's Randy Orton's dad.
Wait, like Randy Orton? You mean
John Cena?
I mean John Cena's dad.
Yes, he's so mad he punched his own father.
No, let's have John Cena beat up Randy Orton's dad. That would turn heel.
I mean, they're saying,
he'll see them.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that's John Cena's father. It's like, oh, well, normally they like acknowledge that he would be there before, and I think even before that.
Well, especially in Boston, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
might have missed it.
Even before that, Cena faced Sandow.
Yeah.
And at no time did he, I don't remember him acknowledging, I don't know, maybe I was just not totally paying attention because I'm like, this is just,
Well, Tyler, I messed up stuff too. I messed the Ultimate Warrior induction, Hall of Fame video.
I didn't miss that. That was good. That was good.
Well, yeah. But
that thing looked amazing. I can't believe I missed it, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyhow,
even Triple H talked about that. That was one of those ones he said best for business. Look, we're getting him a live mic. Basically, he told Michael, he can say whatever he wants. We're getting a live mic. It's best for business. That's why we made it.
Well, then I expect a lot of Vince McMahon shots at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well, the Bret Hart one was kind of similar, too. I mean, I think Bret Hart took some shots at people, too.
And that wasn't even when he was on technically good terms with the company because he was still gone.
Well, he just... Yeah. Well, at that time, they gave him a DVD out at that point, Bret Hart. And he still had issues with Shawn because supposedly the deal was that Shawn was in the building, but no video camera could be shown on Shawn during Bret's speech. Yeah. Even when he took shots at telling him at Shawn. But of course, that pay was known for that classic Austin coming out and the whole Austin Hogan chant starting, and Austin doing like a whole thing about what I saw like a little Hulkamania shirt and it had like Stone Cold like whoop ass thing on it, and then Austin kind of turns around and Hogan just gives like a weird stare down pretty much.
Yeah,
and I was everybody thought, oh my god, they're gonna have a match maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, anyhow, as far as I would think maybe next week John Cena's gonna get big revenge on Orton or something, and then maybe and I would think that Orton would come out with the win at Royal Rumble. Yeah. I would hope, but I mean, it just doesn't seem like they place a whole lot of time and emphasis on this feud, and I'm thinking
it's almost like it's like there are many but most fans said we've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
What else is there to tell of these guys? Pretty much.
I mean, old school Raw and the week before that, was more about like the Shield and CM Punk, I think, And this past week was more about Daniel Bryan and the Wyatt family. So the WWE Championship hasn't been the major, focus.
And it's it's one title now.
Yeah, I would think that like if they really, if they're thinking about changing the titles, hands of the title here, I would think there'd be more, emphasis on this story. So. So yeah, maybe Orton's gonna walk.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just
you never
knowing,
know.
But just knowing Cena's character and what he stands for, to have him lose to Orton after his dad just got the shit kicked out of him, kind of makes Cena look like a failure.
We're gonna have John Cena versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 30.
Like if this happened,
Hulk Hogan comes back to win the title.
Yeah. Like if this happened next week or something, I might think a little differently about it. But we'll see what goes down on Raw, but
we'll see.
The fact that it happened this week and not next week, before Royal Rumble, leads me to think that they didn't have too much else of an idea. So you know what, we're in Boston. Let's have Cena's dad in the front row, and not really make it clear that he's there. Let's just all of a sudden have Orton
kicked out of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like Orton wasn't like eyeing him up, and then like they had the camera focus on him. If they just had him like all of a sudden, he's punching this guy. It's like, wait,
random guy.
Yeah, it's John Cena's father. That like I'm like, wait, what? So it's kind of funny. It's funny. It's that same spot too.
Mm-hmm.
That same spot is when he pulled him out the one year and gave him the pun or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we all know how that ended.
It's not a good spot.
Cena gives Orton a pun. That's actually kind of funny there because the reaction that Cena's dad gives is like bright red face and it's like almost like a mini like Incredible Hulk kind of moment. He's like,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens next week there, but yeah, and then the Shield kind of, I think that kind of took a little bit of a backseat this week to the other things that were going on.
I wouldn't say it took a backseat. I mean,
not totally.
The main storyline of that match was that the Outlaws
ditched
them pretty much. That was the.
I mean, it was just kind of like like that. This is the time when we have CM Punk, and that was it.
Like, there wasn't anything I think else. The fans like saw it coming though, them ditching him.
Yeah,
and maybe it's because they teamed up for the past couple of weeks together and nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no signs of dissension.
It was
there.
a good way of covering it. I mean, I was a little fooled, but then I was like, wait a minute, yeah, they're friends with Triple H. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you actually look at it though, the guy who got the pin once again, it's Roman Reigns. It's like, okay, well, clearly you're really hammering.
He's in the Rumble. I'm expecting big things from this guy in the Rumble, pretty much.
No, and not only that, but I mean, like, they didn't really make any like big point over like him beating CM Punk on Old School Raw. So some
people have criticized that Jake Roberts' return kind of even overshadowed that win a little bit because Jake hasn't been on television in a while.
Yeah, and then of course, but now Roman Reigns gets the pin. So maybe they're stretching that whole thing out again.
I mean, they were working like a unit, functioning well against CM Punk and the Outlaws, just as usual. Okay, we're dragging this guy to our corner. Beep, 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 beep. It was like, okay, so they are functioning together still.
Yeah.
Which I have no problem with. I mean, now that the Wyatts are just got their, got beaten up by Daniel Bryan, it's like, is the Shield staying together for a little while longer because you didn't want the Wyatts to take over, or what's going on?
Well, no. I still think it's going to be slow. No, they're going to break up soon, and it's going to be slow in that.
Yeah.
I'm still going with the whole idea since Dean Ambrose still hangs at the United States title. It's going to be a triple threat Shield match for the United States title. That's how they're going to end this whole thing. Via Legacy WrestleMania 26, pretty much. And the guy who wins is going to be the guy that clearly WWE's pushing the hardest.
Probably Reigns.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now I don't know because there hasn't been a big sign. Obviously, Roman Reigns right now is the guy that is going to split first, if anything.
The big sign would probably come at Rumble because if you have Dean Ambrose, if you have Seth Rollins as well in the Rumble, Reigns tosses them out. He's like, I'm taking my shot.
Yeah,
you guys are in the back seat. That could divide it.
They could keep Rollins and Ambrose together, for a while, and then maybe down the road have them break up. I don't know. Maybe, because it'd be cool to see a triple threat match between the three of them. But that's if they basically all three of them.
Well, that's what I would word it because I don't know. There was like one story that said, well, Reigns is only going to leave the group, and then Mason Ryan's going to come in, and I'm like,
I heard about that too.
But Mason Ryan isn't good at all.
Yeah,
even supposedly his matches in NXT haven't even gotten better. He actually looks worse than he did when he came to Raw.
Well, he has that similar physique, but it's like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but he's got no athletic ability.
That's what I'm saying. He has a similar physique, and that's it.
Yeah.
Worst replacement to put in.
I mean, to me, it's if you're gonna this group, it's three individuals. One splits. To me, they all should split then, pretty much. Just end the group there.
Well, I mean,
stop going going NWA Team B doesn't work.
I think we're gonna have to wait till after Rumble to see where they're going with them because at this rate, they're staying together to Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble's going to be a determining factor for it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm not expecting anything early, especially not pre-Rumble, especially not with the Authority telling the Shield and the New Age Outlaws that the main goal at the Rumble was to take Punk out, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure yet. I mean, either like Roman Reigns is just going to kind of split, and then or all three of them would split at the same time. That would be a way that they could have a triple threat match, but. Again, like this U.S. title thing, like it continued. The U.S. title continues like to just be there for like no reason apparently, and if all three of them
had it, like
For a while.
Getting up there
What?
long,
I think
right?
Extreme Rules, I think, or something like.
As
because
long as
I
they
mean,
made
they
a U.S.
recently
title pretty
posted
much.
about
because-
AJ holding
yeah.
a Divas title for 200 days, and they were like,
Yeah. Well,
"Here,
let's-
check out the record
yeah.
to see where she matches in the standings." I'm like,
Well, she
how
defends-
long has Dean Ambrose been holding that? Where's he matching the standings?
Ambrose
she's-
has been holding. Yeah.
Well, to be fair to AJ, she's defended her title more than I believe Dean
Exactly.
has. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, the last
you know,
time,
they might as well just get rid of the U.S. title
wasn't
or
the last time
something
that Dean
somehow.
defended it was with RVD? He was facing RVD.
Yeah, I
I
think-
thought.
That was SummerSlam. No, he was the Fang there, but no. I think Tyler.
No.
I think they won at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, because they
They won
won
the-
both belts.
They
Yeah,
won the
no,
same
I was
night as
saying
they
the-
were together.
They won the
he
tag
defended it.
belts. Yeah. And
Isn't
then,
that like the last time I remember him defending
that was-
it
that
was
was
against
over-
RVD?
Maybe.
And even
I don't
then,
know.
it wasn't even a clean win. He got it because DQ.
it was a
It's like,
DQ
okay.
in like the pre-show or something. If you
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, it was.
That was it.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like maybe what they could do is have him face, you know, maybe like unify the title or
Mhm.
something. At this point, they might as well do that. Have him face like Biggie
Yeah.
Langston or something.
Well. Some people said that's not going to happen to me. It was now that hasn't been talked about.
yeah,
The
it's
reason why
been
it's
talked
not
about,
as strong as WWE is because the roster's weak. They got a lot more mid carders than main eventers, so
Yeah.
you might need 2 mid card titles still to give
Yeah.
people more feud still.
Yeah.
The only problem is they're leaning on one versus the other. So it's like, well, if you're going to keep both,
Yeah.
then have both do stuff.
Look.
Yeah.
To me, if the longer Ambrose holds that title, I'm liking like triple threat chances, or at the very least, it's Ambrose versus Reigns for the
Yeah.
U.S. title. Then
I just think
But he barely.
I think
the
all
last time they acknowledged it was when Jake Roberts came out. That
And
was
to
like
be-
that was the first time they acknowledged it in forever. That
Mhm.
hey, Dean Ambrose has the United States Championship. I mean, now and again you might hear Michael Cole say, "Hey, don't forget Dean Ambrose has the United States Championship." Really, he does?
Yeah.
I don't.
But then at the same time, there, I mean, the Shield are at a so high of a level compared to the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
Even if he defends the title against anybody else, are we actually going to believe that he's going to lose the belt?
well, no, this is what I'm saying. Like you have him face, you know, you face Biggie Langston or somebody that they want to build the title around. You know, at least help with it, and then have the Shield somebody like Roman Reigns, you know, cause a distraction or something and screw Ambrose out of the title or something.
Yeah,
That was my idea because then
Well,
he
no,
doesn't have
no.
to lose it
Well,
clean to
no, for
somebody.
me, the only other guys that might be in Ambrose league pretty much are his Shield counterparts. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're pretty much saying here. Ambrose doesn't need to defend the title. There's nobody else in their league except themselves. Therefore, only
Yeah.
they should be trying to get that belt away from him.
Yeah.
Probably.
But then, yeah, but then
But
like
if you're going to do that, you still have to acknowledge the belt, and they barely do
Yeah.
it. That's the problem. They
Yeah.
aren't acknowledging it, so it's like.
Someone's going to
Well, that's
acknowledge
a
it, Corey, eventually.
Yeah.
It's not just going to vanish
plus,
one day.
yeah. I mean, plus, I think that the idea is like to build, you know, that one of these guys could be WWE champion, if not any of them could be WWE
Well, I would
champion.
say all three
this
have
year.
a shot. Clearly, Reigns is the front runner.
Yeah,
But
right.
But
so if
Ambrose-
he's feuding
to
for
me,
the
Ambrose
US
is
titles,
to me, Ambrose has the most charisma out of all of them.
yeah, and the heel,
And Rollins
the heel
takes some of the
factor,
craziest spots out of all of them.
the
So-
heel factor. Yeah, I mean,
and Reigns is the powerhouse. I mean, they
Yeah.
each got something better than anybody else does.
Yeah.
They're all uniquely
they
different.
all have
in a good
potential,
way.
and yeah, and I think, yeah, and I think in the this year.
Mhm.
You know, sometime this year they can maybe have one of them, or you know, or whatever, be WWE champion.
I mean,
Being a
hell, I
story
mean, at one point these guys had heat for being too cocky.
yeah,
Cocky at one point. There were a lot of like veterans that supposedly like pissed off at these guys for getting cocky in that. Then all of a sudden they start wrestling constantly, and everyone's like saying, you know, they have a right to be
Matches.
cocky. They're that damn
They're
good, all
good,
three
yeah.
of them, pretty much.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, see what goes down this week. I mean, we got already one more show until the Royal Rumble, so
Mhm.
obviously it'll be interesting to see what goes down
I mean, the main
at this show and at the Royal Rumble
The
itself.
main focus is going to be Dave Bautista, but
Right, yeah, because
gotta-
big return, and
yeah.
Lesnar will probably be at this show too.
yeah.
So
No,
you know,
well, no, he will probably confirmed he's going to be there.
yeah, him and Big Show, you know,
I mean, other than that,
Maybe
it's
have a
really trying to
contract
find out
signed.
who else is in the Rumble, what other
Right.
matches we
Well,
have
we
on
got-
the card, if anything.
We got 12 spots left.
at the Raw.
Who,
Yeah,
who,
and you know they got to make one. They're going to have one special legend just show
yeah,
up.
they're gonna have a few. You know, who knows?
well, one,
Well,
two,
so
or three,
it-
probably.
It's
Usually,
I think the most I remember was like 2012, but that was like the 25th anniversary. So there was a good reason they had more.
When
No,
they
I
had
mean-
40, yeah. or
I mean,
whatever.
to me, the one that got the most, which I think to this day is still one of the highest Royal Rumbles buy rate was 2002. They had a lot of big guys come back
Yeah.
that Rumble. Mr. Perfect, Goldust came back.
Yeah.
Then the Godfather. Pretty much a lot of old guys, mainly some guys because they were in the WCW like towards the end of their career.
Yeah.
And that's just their big WWE return, pretty much.
But the one that had more recently was 2012. Because actually, they hadn't even started bringing back legends until I think it was like 6 or 7. They started bringing slowly. It was a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
And I think the most was 2012 because you had Karma, you had all these other people. So honestly, last year there was one. I shouldn't say two because you got to count Chris Jericho. Yeah. He was a surprise. Which he might make a surprise appearance at the Rumble. I don't know. Because we don't know about RVD, we don't know about Sheamus, we don't know about Chris Jericho. Yeah. There's 3 big names that we don't know about.
There's also Christian, too. He's been sitting out there, too.
Okay, so we got 4 people we have no clue what's going on with, and we're still dealing with all this what if with. So it's like you got 4 people that aren't back yet.
Yeah.
So Mania's going to be crazy.
I don't mind surprise appearances there, but at the same time there, I mean, none of them are going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think the closest was Perfect and RVD.
I would actually just prefer that they just reveal pretty much all 30 spots and then that's it. Just because then maybe
they're never going to do that.
Surprise, yeah. I mean, the only thing is, I guess they think there's like a surprise factor that pays off like last year when.
I mean, there's been surprise returns that have won. I mean, John Cena's famous one, obviously at Madison Square Garden.
But he's a full. Yeah, he was.
Edge in 2010 was a big surprise because he had the heel injury.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I think, when he even had the heel, said, "Oh, he's probably back in the Rumble." Then he probably can recover that fast.
From the fans' reaction, no. They weren't actually even expecting him back that soon. And even Edge didn't expect to be back right away.
Reaction's also a sign of they're happy that they're back, too. It doesn't always mean that, oh my God.
No, but the other thing is medically wise, he actually came back earlier than expected. That was the thing. He wasn't actually supposed to come back right away at the Rumble. That wasn't even planned.
No. I did hear, especially the whole Chris Jericho stare down. There was clearly a Jericho-Edge feud planted as soon as Edge had an Achilles injury. John Cena, when he got hurt and had to strip of the title, there was no storyline in place. Yeah. Hell, they was talking he was going to miss Mania probably. With his what was it? Torn
pectoral.
Yeah, pectoral muscle pretty much because it was almost completely off the bone. They said pretty much. But his return surprised everybody pretty much because nobody really knew about it.
It was early. Yeah, it was earlier than expected.
The only guy who probably knew about it in that ring when it happened was Triple H. Everybody else, when you see their mouth drop, that's probably them actually surprised as hell that. This is John Cena coming down the ring. Yeah. Because nobody saw it coming. Yeah. I topped it over the Edge one, which I think everybody pretty much knew that there was going to be some Jericho Edge.
I didn't say which one was great. I just said Edge is another example of somebody who returned surprise.
Yeah.
Surprised out of me.
Yeah.
I didn't even surprise me because I knew he was coming back.
Yeah, as far as
the Cena one to me, it surprised me, pissed me off at the same time because he won it still. But I was shocked because like I said, I heard all these all this news about he's probably gonna miss Mania and WWE's panicking. Oh my God,
Yeah.
The guy's a quick healer. Yeah. Because he says his history of he has these massive injuries and he can just come back just like that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so we saw that with his baseball elbow.
What did I say? He actually did hurt his elbow, and they're saying 6 weeks. Next, 3 weeks he's back, and I'm like, the guy is Superman. He has to be.
Yeah,
it was more than 6 weeks.
He's got
he was saying
they were saying 4 to 6 months. Yeah,
exactly.
It was not even 2. It was about 2 months.
Yeah, barely 2 months, maybe.
Barely, yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's as far as surprise returns this year. I don't think any of them are going to be front runners to win the Rumble.
No,
I mean, Sheamus is the only possibility, but I don't think that, especially with only one world title now, I don't think that...
And it was an 18-second win at Mania.
Yeah.
Which to me was a total. That was just total.
Well, to me, Tony's got to keep in mind here, like I said. And that's why they said maybe they have John Cena win because that way you have... It's more predictable who wins the Rumble then, pretty much.
I mean, that'll take a lot of people off. If he wins second year in a row.
But it would also open up a lot of questions, though. Okay,
yeah,
who's winning the Rumble?
because the whole one of the stories in place, supposedly with Orton, is that it's Batista then. It's going to be the old Evolution guys colliding for the belt then.
Yeah.
And maybe Triple H should tease that a little bit there. He's, Randy Orton's his guy, but he also likes Batista too. They're both buddies in that. Who's he going to side with?
Probably the one that didn't cut out on him right away. Randy Orton cut out pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then Batista.
And I think we can mind. If Daniel Bryan declares, you got to put him maybe as the number 2 guy. Yeah. Hell, maybe even number 1. Maybe he's the guy that's planned all along.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it might depend on the concussion situation and how he. So yeah,
I mean,
we'll hope. We'll hope.
I heard it's not anything serious.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
yeah.
serious. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks, then he'll be
Right.
back. And
yeah, we'll hope that.
It happened Monday, Tyler. So
yeah, exactly.
He's gonna. So that's 2 weeks there, pretty much right there.
So,
it varies. It depends on the severity. If it comes out that it's a little worse than they predicted, he might not be in the Rumble. He might be a Mania. He just might not be in the Rumble.
Well, here's the thing there too. He might have a concussion there, but if he's still planning to win it there, he doesn't need to take any massive bumps in the Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's going out of the ring.
I mean, the Rumble, I mean, the
that's
Rumble.
that's the other thing.
Normally, the Rumble, you're not flying around all over the place, and you're trying to get guys over the
It's
rope.
usually a lot of punching and kicking, and then a lot of
there's not space. There's not space to do big moves.
Medically wise, a doctor wouldn't be able to legally clear him because of the fact that the's still a risk factor. Because all it takes is one slip up and boom.
Yeah, if
it was two concussions too close together, you got a real issue.
Yeah.
So it all depends on severity. And I guess we'll find out when we find out.
I would think it's not that severe.
No,
I hope not.
Considering he fought on,
If it is, then we might end up having another Dolph Ziggler incident where he gets bumped down, and that stinks because he's on riding a high so far. It's a massive high he's riding. The fans, that whole arena doing that. Yes.
Yeah. After only a few weeks, I mean, it felt like if
he gets injured now, this is gonna really screw things up.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't heard anything for a while, which usually means nothing that severe. Then.
Yeah.
No, they didn't report on. But then again, there's a lot still swarming with the Mae Young thing, so you never know.
Yeah.
That's still buzzing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's something. Maybe for Bad News Barrett to cover there.
Who's also going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
He declared in the main event he'll be in the Rumble. So
I've got some bad news. I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
The guy's going to stop talking. He's going to actually fight.
Okay. He's going to see how Barrett is going to give bad news to everybody in that Rumble pretty much.
One toss out and done.
So yeah. I guess that'll close things down today for the Great Wrestling Debate. What's an interesting time?
Well, we gotta ask a question here because this might be Corey's last show here. So, Corey,
last show before Mania.
Well, okay, but the point is, who
the heck does last show? What am I dying? Am I gonna die?
No, Corey, you're not gonna be on for the next couple of weeks. Pretty much.
It's the last one before Mania.
So, anyway,
right now it's the last one.
Anyway, Corey, who do you have winning the Rumble?
The Rumble
right now.
Honestly, I would either put down CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, or Batista. And probably leaning more towards Batista currently with how things are going, but that will be determined with Monday night. If Batista really cuts a promo that's directed towards somebody else and it's not seeming like it's really, I'm here to go after that championship and that's why I came back only, then I'm going to pick either Bryan or CM Punk. But who knows? They may throw a wild card at me. So those are my three picks. But right now, Batista would be the main one because CM Punk is pretty clear where he's going.
Yeah.
And Bryan is up in the air right now with the concussion. But like I said, we'll see come Monday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so Batista.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm going right now too.
I'm gonna wait a week. I'm gonna wait one more
that's
week.
The thing. Like I don't right now.
I would if I could.
Right now, my pick's irrelevant because again,
I still think if Bray Wyatt's in it, I still think he has a shot here because let's also remember here when Del Rio won the Rumble, he got his ass kicked for 3 straight weeks up to the main event.
I mean, things change by the week right now, so I mean, I
really
really don't know.
Alberto really going to win it again because he got his butt kicked how many times now?
He's been pushed down in the mid card and for months.
Okay, but he kicked the hell out of Rey Mysterio too.
Yeah. I mean,
literally, he kicked the hell out of him. You could hear that impact on the camera.
So yeah, the point is right now. I mean, it's really tough to tell, and that it's a big smoke screen. That's that's a good thing.
Which is what we all like to see. Pretty much.
Right, yeah. Which, it's a job well done right now.
Well, it's better than last year where I didn't want Cena to win. Oh, great, Cena won.
Yeah, that was,
I mean, the year before that was a little out in the smoke, a little bit in the smoke screen because you were debating between Chris Jericho or Sheamus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I remember thinking Sheamus, I remember that. I think Sheamus, and I wasn't.
Well, I thought Jericho was going to win because of that big, massive return he had.
I mean,
it's like you build all that up, and then all of a sudden,
I mean, that made him the favorite. I remember, but
it's just a shame Sheamus is kind of top guy
Yeah, well,
run
he's-
kind of shot
Yeah.
short. And I think that honestly
But now-
started with that whole Mania issue. 'Cause,
Yeah.
come on, you have these two young guys and you're giving them an 18-second match.
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked somebody else in that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
18
probably
seconds.
benefited Bryan more, buddy.
Yeah.
Because that
That was that whole no, yes, no.
no. Actually, you hear him. That's pretty much when the yes chant started.
Right,
pretty
but
much.
yeah,
you
the
still
night
hear-
after that.
Even the raw,
Oh,
the
yeah.
raw right after.
I mean,
pretty
you
much.
still hear the yeses, but that's when also Bryan was starting to go, no.
Well, not right away,
Not
but
right
I
away.
mean, how? I mean,
No.
I always wondered what the hell he was saying though when he came down and did like this up in the air.
No,
And
I
all of a
knew-
sudden,
yeah,
it was
I
still
could-
maybe
I
when you
knew it
started
was
finally
yes,
hearing
yeah.
Yeah, because the
Just
mic
like-
was right there.
Yeah. I remember like pointing out like it's kind of funny how he comes down and he's always like chanting yes.
Yes.
That was in like that was before WrestleMania. I remember that, and then the fans started pointing out. It's like, you know what, they might have something here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That night when minutes before Lesnar came back that
Mhm.
night. It was,
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that'll wrap things up today for the Great Wrestling Debate. Got a lot of interesting things going on, so we'll see what goes down next week when Dave Bautista returns to the WWE after almost 4 years, and after Brock Lesnar is also a part of this edition of Monday Night Raw. So stay tuned as always, and thanks for tuning in.